We're here in the bunker to work on basic bunker play, which is a really important part of your scoring zone. Now, I know what you struggle with. I've seen it a lot of times at our scoring zone school here in Chicago. People blade the golf ball, then you're afraid to swing at it, then you hit an easy shot, you leave it in the bunker, you go back and forth. It can be really frustrating. I've been there, I've seen a lot of people do it, but we're going to talk through what makes that happen, and then we're going to give you a solution to that problem. Now, why does the ball blade and careen across the green? It's because, like we've talked about all through the scoring zone series, that the club is swinging up into the belly of the golf ball. Or if you hit it fat, it's because the club is swinging up. Also, you bottomed out early, caught the sand, leave it in the bunker. So we're going to work through those things to make sure, give you a simple way to hit good bunker shots. Now, I got to tell you, when I learned how to play bunkers when I was a young kid, and when I was taught how to teach bunker play, it was so complex and it made it very inconsistent. You know, I was taught open up, have the shaft forward, have the face here, all these weird angles, and there's just no way to be consistent. Bunker play is much easier than that if you keep it simple. So I'm going to spend some time going through 3 points in the setup to make it really simple so that you can get in the bunker and have some confidence to breed some consistency, right? So the first thing that I really want you to understand is how the club should work in the sand. One of the most important things is to understand what the club should look like when it hits the sand. Here's the key. It's important that the shaft sits backward so the club can glide on its back edge. When the club digs, the shaft is forward, so therefore the leading edge digs into the sand and the club starts to get too deep into the bunker. We want that club to glide on the back edge so the divot stays shallow and at the same depth under the golf ball, which gives you the greatest margin for error. All right, so number one, the shaft needs to be backward. Now, most people know that the club face needs to be open. All right, so what do I mean by that? Well, the club face, the leading edge of the golf club, this is at right angles when that leading edge is at right angles to the ground. Open just looks like that. Let's say it's at 1 o'clock. Pretty simple. Here's the key. Make sure that you open the face without having the grip going forward. I see so many people take the golf club and they open the face, but they have the grip going forward. We've talked about this a lot. When the grip goes forward of the body, the right shoulder goes down, the left shoulder goes up, and you go backward, and that club goes up into the middle of the golf ball. No good, right? Let's open the face with a shaft straight so that the handle can be right in the middle of the body. We've talked about stand of the handle through the whole series. Same thing here. All right, so that was point number one. Point number one, open the face with a shaft straight. Okay, so here's point number two. Point number two, when you set up to the golf ball, is make sure that the shaft is at right angles to where you want the ball to go. So I'm going to draw a couple lines in the sand here. So if I want the ball to go straight in this direction, I'm going to set up with a shaft at right angles to where I want the ball to go. So in the process, number one, open the face, shaft back, grip the golf club. Then set the shaft down so it's at right angles to where I want the ball to go. All right, that was your second step. Number three, stand to the handle. So I walk in and I just stand to the handle. So what's that mean? Like we've said all along, the butt of the golf club points at my middle. So now you can see I'm nice and square, the face is open, the club can glide, the shaft is back. I've just made it so much easier on myself so that I can be more consistent. Now, once you've done the 3 setup things, let's talk a little bit about the motion. The motion in basic bunker play is I need the club to work up and in front of me. I see the common mistake that people make. Commonly, people get the club back behind their body. So I like to tell people, here's a key that's really important in basic bunker play. Make sure the club head swings up and stays in front of the trail shoulder. If your club head swings behind your trail shoulder, you're in trouble. You're going to hit the sand behind the golf ball, or you're going to come up and catch the golf ball itself and careen it over the green. So, really important, swing that golf club up and in front of your shoulder, so now it has a clear path down to the golf ball and into the sand prior to the golf ball so that I don't get caught at all behind the golf ball. So I get set, 3 things, open the face, set the shaft perpendicular to the line I want to hit the ball, stand to the handle, then I'm going to swing that club up, and I got to emphasize this also, swing the club far enough. I think people get afraid in the bunker and they're afraid to make the swing they need to make, and so they make a really short swing. And this is what happens when you make a short swing. You don't have enough power. You know you don't have enough power, And so what happens from there is you start using your legs for energy, and whenever you use your legs in the bunker play, remember we've talked about all scoring zone, no lateral. If you start using lateral legs, the club drops behind you, and that's the other reason it bottoms out early, it swings up. All right, so I want to get set. I want to get the energy from my arms. I'm going to swing my arms up higher. I'm going to swing the club down so I've got energy to get in the sand. And then I'm going to let that club momentum carry me through, so I'm going to follow the club with the mass of my body and get through the shot. Okay, so I get set, swing it up with my arms, down, and it comes right out of the bunker. Let's hit another one. Hit that one a little soft, which is going to bring me to another point that I want to talk to you about. So I get set, up with my arms, down, a little more speed there, so I hit a nice little bunker shot right there. Now that brings up a great thing that I want to talk to you about. So often people don't swing the club hard enough in the sand, and I think the reason why is because if you're this distance in the grass, you would have to make a much easier swing. Now the reason why is because you're actually taking the energy of the golf club and you're hitting the actual golf ball. In the sand, that's not happening. You're hitting the sand, and the sand slows the club down. So you have to swing a lot more aggressively and have more speed. Most bunker shots that are greenside, you need around 60 to 70 miles an hour club head speed, because when that club hits the sand, it slows it down, so you need more energy to get it through the sand and propel the ball out on a cushion of sand. So remember, get your arms high enough so you can create that needed speed, swing it down with some authority. As you swing the club through, go with it. Make sure that your body is on the left side and you're forward, and that way you'll drive the club through the sand and hit great bunker shots. Keep it simple, and you'll be greater on the bunker. You'll be more consistent.